Hey guys, it's Becca. This is going to be my final video of 2019. Woo! I have been in Rome for 3 months now and it has been a total whirlwind. I've eaten more pasta in the last 3 months than I have in my entire life up until this point. I've made a lot of really wonderful friends and just had some amazing social connections here that have really brought me a lot of joy. I've even had a lot of animal encounters, which I was definitely not expecting. I cannot tell you guys how cute these sheep are. I mean, there is a herd of sheep in the middle of metropolitan Rome. I just can't, it's crazy. You wouldn't believe your eyes if you saw it yourself. I swear, they're so cute. But as we know, the main reason I'm here is for art, and I have done more art projects that put me out of my comfort zone than I can even count. Probably on an almost daily basis, I have attempted a new art project that I've never tried before that has felt very difficult, very uncomfortable, and has also obviously led to a lot of growth in my skills, and also opened up some doors for what kind of work I want to do down the line and what areas of study I want to focus on. But to just really recap how many new things I've done, I can't even believe how many firsts I've had since I've been here. It was my first time doing a character design, it was my first time doing a storyboard, my first time trying to do digital color studies, my first time studying facial expressions. I mean, I swear almost every day I tried something new, and sometimes it's felt really thrilling and exciting, and sometimes it has just been totally ego-crushing. So this approach to curriculum is very different than anything that I've done in the past. I would call this more like a fire hose approach, where they just blast you with everything. Whereas before I came to Rome, I had been really focused on studying just one thing at a time, doing very, very focused studies through specific programs. So working on portraiture specifically, working on perspective, etc. So I did these one at a time, very siloed approaches to study. And to be honest, I actually don't know which way is better. You know, obviously the fire hose approach, it's more difficult. Like, I have felt more resistance. I've felt a little bit more internal strife. It's been more difficult to get motivated to do things where I'm sort of guaranteed to fail at times. But at the same time, it probably leads to bigger rewards and faster improvement. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know what approach works for you. Maybe there's a time and a place for everything. Let me know what you think. All in all, though, I am really proud of myself for putting my work out there, even when I'm not really comfortable with it and I wish it were better, because I think this is one of the most difficult things to do, is to put yourself out there even when you don't feel like you're ready. And I think it's every artist's inclination to wait longer than you need to get feedback. So one thing I'm very proud of is that I have just been pushing through and doing the projects, and even if I wasn't happy with the result, I just showed my work, got feedback, and I think it's helped me improve very quickly. So we have 2 weeks off for the holidays, and I'm so excited to take a break because I am just absolutely spent. This has required a lot of energy because so many of these projects require creative thinking, which I'm not really that used to doing every day. So I can feel it that I really need this break, and I'm so looking forward to just relaxing and kind of rejuvenating myself to come back and start again and redirect myself to see what I want to really focus on next. I hope you guys all have a really lovely holiday break, and that you also get to take a break and relax, rejuvenate, and that you come back into the new year feeling really strong. I will see you in 2020, and of course, thanks for watching. As always, I really appreciate your support. See you soon. This first exercise is a set of isometric props to go with my villain character. This was somewhat miraculously probably the easiest assignment I've done here so far, because I could use all the skills that I learned from Drawbox. So folks, the moral to the story is, if you spend 4 months doing focused study on a specific concept, you will improve in that specific area. Seems obvious, but sometimes we assume that you should be good at something the first time you try it, when the fact of the matter is you have to put in time to every single area of study that you want to improve in. Next up, we have something that I have not spent 4 months studying, and you can tell. This is my first stab at an environmental drawing, also known sometimes as a background drawing. These were some ideas I had for my villain's lair, my evil villain's basically place of work. And here are the 3 final concepts that I liked. So the next step for this is to do a cleaned up version, which I have been avoiding like the plague. And now some storyboards that I've been really slaving over and put my absolute heart and soul into. So one of my classes is focused on, I guess you could say, the rules of cinematography, and it has been so eye-opening to me. I had no idea how specific and how complex the rules were about directionality and camera location and how to communicate a story in a clear way. I'm definitely not a film nerd, so all of this stuff was new information to me. I'll try to find a link in the description if any of you guys are interested in this kind of stuff, because it's actually fascinating. So for example, in the first storyboard, you can take a look at it, pause the video if you want, but there's a directional issue with the car and the frames following the car. So here's the original and here's the corrected version. And you can see that when you see it corrected, it makes a lot more sense because the car is basically coming from the wrong direction in the first version. I was really proud of this storyboard because you can see a lot of improvement, I think, in how I'm thinking about camera angle and how I can switch up the different individual shots while still keeping a consistent feeling. So I'm really happy with my improvement on this one. And now some color studies. I've been enjoying these because honestly, you don't have to think that much, you just have to do them. And sometimes I just feel so burnt out by doing so many creative projects here that just sitting down and copying something that I'm looking at feels like a huge relief. It feels very fun and relaxing. Honestly, I would love to spend a few months just doing color studies because much like perspective, this is the kind of thing where you just have to do a lot to really ingrain that information and knowledge in your brain. So for this project, we had to create a Vanitas painting, and I had been feeling like I didn't have that much time to sort of be really creative and explore my own style. So for this project, I wanted to do something where I just went for it and didn't have any expectations for how it would look in the end, or even if it looked nice or good or anything. So this is the final, and this was the sort of crazy free-for-all draft that I did at the beginning. And this was really fun. Sometimes when I try and just, I'm doing air quotes, be creative, it can feel very stressful, but for some reason this time it just felt amazing. Like it was so fun to just try and do something with no expectation of having any good results. And in the cleaned up version, I tried to really push the shapes to give it kind of a more geometric stylized look where the perspective was a little bit less realistic but had, an intentional kind of style or vibe. And lastly, we have all my in-class exercises. So this was just a fun illustration making a character based on some photos. This is a gesture exercise, a gesture exercise, more gesture exercises, and sort of trying to adjust the character based on a gesture. Same here. And more gesture exercises. And this is kind of a fun thing to do. We did a bunch of these. So basically you draw the line of action given a shot from an existing movie, animated movie, and then you go back in and pick a character and apply that gesture line to your character. So you can kind of start ingraining these basic movements that characters can do so that you can use them for different characters when you draw later on. We also went outside and did some drawing from life, which I had not actually really done any life drawing, like in public. So we went out and drew people who were walking around and taking photos of themselves and etc. And then we went back to class and we used some of those gesture drawings to create little individual narrative images that sort of used different characters to tell a new story, which was pretty fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in 2020. Bye.